Joss drops by Jason's place above bodies. She knows it's late, but she did something she regrets and needs to talk to someone. She reveals she told Christina that her beloved father sent Dex to kill Cyrus. Jason gets her water to sober up. Jason has heard about Dex from Carly, but hasn't met him yet. Joss says Dex protected Sunny, and then Sunny turned on him and called him a traitor. She doesn't think Dex would kill anyone, but Sunny had him so screwed up that he was willing to follow his orders. She doesn't understand how Christina can be so blind about Sunny. Jason says most people want to see their parents in a good light. And maybe she's not seeing Sunny in a good light right now. Joss wonders if she's a terrible person, but Jason assures her that she's not. She says maybe her mom was right, and she said all of this anger and hatred for Sunny is just hurting her. She realizes now she has a point, and she should not have said what she said to Christina. It made her see that she too can be cruel at times. She's not mad at Christina, she's mad at Sunny. Jason knows Dex isn't working for Sunny any longer, right? Joss says he's going in the opposite direction and becoming a cop, and she knows Sunny will be angry about that. Jason agrees Sunny could see this as a threat to him. Joss still loves Dex and will grieve him the rest of her life if Sunny has him killed. She asks if he isn't going to tell her that she's wrong about Sunny killing Dex. Jason admits he doesn't know Sunny anymore. Joss asks if he hates Sunny for turning on him so quickly. Jason doesn't. Joss says Sunny always preaches about loyalty, but shows no loyalty to Jason. Jason says Sunny's never been perfect, but he's changed, and this Sunny isn't the Sunny from before. Jason says they should get her back to the dorm. She says she won't sleep, she can't sleep, and she keeps having a nightmare of Sunny standing over a dead Dex with a gun. She wishes she never followed and found Dex. Jason says if she cares about Dex, he must be a good guy, and he won't let Sunny kill Dex. She thanks him, and they embrace. John Swinney announces he will run for SNP leader. Christina drops by Molly's to vent about Joss, and how Joss crossed a line tonight. She says Joss told her that her dad ordered Dex to kill Cyrus. Molly thinks Joss was out of line, but Sunny does have a reputation. Christina isn't naive, but doesn't believe her dad would order Dex to kill a broken-down old man. Christina knows her dad beat up Cyrus on New Year's Eve, but he must have provoked her dad that night. She knows her dad has a temper, but she refuses to believe her dad would order an old man's execution. Molly stays quiet. She eventually encourages Christina not to let Joss get to her, but Christina can't help it. She says Joss went too far. Her dad defends himself and Port Charles and doesn't go after innocent people without provocation. She says her dad is a good person and even supported Joss through her life. She knows her dad is on edge, but he's dealing with Nana breaking his heart, Jason coming back, and Ava living in his apartment for God knows what reason. Molly thinks her dad is lucky to have her to support him. Christina decides to get home and relax by listening to some of the music Molly gave her. She thanks Molly for being here for her. At the hatchet-throwing range, Sam vents to Dante that Danny and Jason both won't listen to her. Dante understands her frustrations. Sam says Jason has broken her heart twice by falling off the face of the earth. She knows the first time wasn't his choice, but he won't explain the second. She knows Danny would be devastated if Jason disappeared again. Dante knows she isn't doing anything wrong, but she doesn't want Danny to think he's wrong to want a relationship with his dad either. Sam just knows it's too dangerous for Danny to be around Jason, and it's why she and Jason broke up in the first place. She won't allow the danger that surrounds danger back into their life and home. Dan recalls growing up not knowing his father and wanting to know him. Sam says his and Danny's situations aren't the same, but Dante says Danny wants to know his dad. He asks if she thinks Jason would manipulate Danny, but Sam knows that's one thing he's not, a manipulator. She says it's Jason's honesty and openness that makes him approachable, but also a threat. She also admits it stings that Danny sees Jason as the fun, cool parent. She argues that Jason has no idea how to be Danny's father. She fears Danny is pulling away, and she won't lose her son. Dante says they are having a rough patch, but Danny loves her and that won't change. Sam chooses to believe him for tonight. They head out. Dex talks with Anna, and she knows some of the cops got to him tonight. Dex thinks they both underestimated how tough it might be for him to join the four. Anna asks if he is thinking of giving up. Dex wants to do the work, but he didn't consider that the other officers wouldn't want him on the force with them. He won't put himself into another position where everyone around him doesn't trust him. He just went through that with Sonny. Anna agrees this won't be easy, but she doesn't want him to give up as becoming a cop is worth it. Anna says when she returned to being commissioner, many officers let her know they weren't fond of her past, and she couldn't blame them. She had to prove herself to them. And she is confident he'll do the same and win over his fellow officers. She admits she originally wanted him on the force because of what he knows about Sonny, but she is impressed by his commitment and sees he is a good man. She asks if he's going to give up. Dex isn't. Anna says there will always be bullies, just don't let them get to him, and she thinks he'll prove to himself and the other officers what kind of person he is. Drew and Jordan continue to hang out. After Drew shows something to Jordan on his phone, a photo of Scout pops up. Jordan has something to confess and is secretly hoping TJ and Molly have a girl so she can buy a ridiculous amount of dresses for her. Drew doesn't see her as a grandma, as she is so young and vibrant. She says, "Bless you." Jordan admits she had fun tonight, and Drew says he did too. Even though he wasn't in the headspace to come to a bachelor party, Jordan knows he's having a hard time, but he'll get to where he needs to be eventually. The night comes to an end, and Drew offers to walk her out. She reminds him that he was a cop, and he jokes he knows she can protect him as it's dark out there. Chase and Finn return to Finn's place. Violet runs to her dad and begs him to help Grandpa. They look over and Gregory is on the couch in an oxygen mask. Chase calls the paramedics and Violet explains Grandpa started breathing funny and asked her to get his mask. Finn asks his dad questions and has him blink to answer. Gregory is unable to move. Finn asks Violet how long he's been like this. She thinks it's been about 3 songs, as music is playing through a speaker. Chase tells Violet she was brave. But why didn't she call her dad? She says she was going to but got busy helping Grandpa with his machine. Chase gets Violet to sleep, and Finn tells Chase their dad is breathing steadily, and the paramedic will be here soon. Chase pulls Finn aside and thinks he can't get married if Dad is paralyzed and in the hospital. The paramedics arrive, and Gregory is feeling better and is gaining mobility again. He's able to speak and refuses to go to GH as the ER doctors can't tell him anything he doesn't already know. Chase heads out, and Violet wakes up and checks on her grandpa. Gregory tells Violet how brave and smart she is, and she did everything she was supposed to just right. Finn says it's time for her to get back to bed, so she heads to her room. Finn sits with his dad, who won't put Violet through this again. Finn says they'll discuss it more in the morning. Gregory notices Chase is gone and asks where he went. Lois, Brooke Lynn, and Tracy return home and hang out in the kitchen. Brooke Lynn thanks her mom for the party, and Tracy agrees it was great, but thinks some of her friends can't hold their liquor. Tracy calls it a night and heads up to her room. Later, Brooke Lynn comes down for a glass of water and finds her mom working in the kitchen on the seating chart. Brooke Lynn is nervous about the wedding, and Lois knows how she feels. She tells Brooke Lynn that Chase is the perfect man for her, so it will be perfect. Brooke Lynn hugs her mom and says she's glad she's here. Tracy comes down to the kitchen to get something to help her sleep, considers warm milk, but then thinks schnapps would work better. Suddenly, Lois gets a text from Chase. He has been trying to reach Brooke Lynn, but she left her phone upstairs. Lois relays Chase is coming over. Brooke Lynn worries it must be serious if he's coming over this late. Chase arrives and tells them about his dad's incident tonight, and he doesn't think he'll be able to officiate the wedding next week. Lois runs down their options, including getting someone else to officiate or canceling the wedding. Tracy refuses to cancel the wedding, and they can't cut Gregory out without getting his input. Brooklyn says she'll call the florist and caterers in the morning in case they have to cancel. Tracy gets a call from Gregory. She asks if he's okay, and he says he is now. He knows Chase is there, and to tell Chase and Brooklyn that he won't stand for them canceling the wedding. He also will be fine to officiate, even if it kills him. Tracy relays this message to them and adds that they should stop treating Gregory like a child and let him make his own decisions. Gregory insists everything will be fine, and nobody will be happier than him to see his son marry her granddaughter. Tracy relays how much Gregory is looking forward to officiating this wedding, and he can handle anything that happens with their help. She says if they love him, then to honor his wishes. On the next General Hospital, Ava worries to Laura about Trina, and that clinging to Ace is her way of clinging to the past. Molly tells TJ this isn't their problem. This is all Christina. Nana tells Drew that they really are made for each other. Carly tells Christina there are certain questions she won't like the answer to. Jason visits Sonny and knows what he thinks about him, but says he has a bigger problem.